Hey there, Michael Weaver here, owner of Weaver Sales Academy. So blessed to be with Joe and Sean today, just to talk a little bit about their experience with Weaver Sales Academy and how it's helped their agency a little bit. So, Joe and Sean, thank you again for your time today. I really appreciate that and appreciate you both. So, let's just kick it off with how long you've been an agent, how long you've owned the agency, Joe.
3 years. Actually, we just hit our 3-year anniversary. So, yep.
Well, congrats, that's awesome. And Sean, how long have you been with Joe?
Since the start. I've been here for 3 years as well.
Perfect. Okay. I love that. So tell me a little bit, either Joe or Sean, kind of what maybe your one to two struggle areas were prior to Weaver Sales Academy, and then kind of what Weaver Sales Academy's helped you with.
I'll start off there. I think one of the biggest ones was time management as far as getting through everything and how to get through it correctly to be able to maximize our time and not be wasting time. And then the pivoting, pivoting to the different products and learning where to pivot and the different types of things to pivot to. As far as time management, I think the blitz that you've talked about in the past and during some of the live seminars and things, not only has helped me, but has helped the office in multiple ways, doing whether it be a friendly competition, because we can say, okay, well, we're going to do a 40-minute blitz. Let's see who can get the most out of this. Let's see who can get either the most contacts in or the most people that are allowing us to give them a call back and go from there. And then just some of the tricks of what to pivot to and where has really been helpful. More so on the not necessarily the P&C side of it, but the life insurance and the health and DIs and things like that has really been where I have picked up a lot of information to be able to pivot to those types of things.
I love that. That's great feedback. Joe, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think to his point, I mean, he hit it was time management. I was an outside, candidate. I was not internal, so I had no prior sales or I had no prior insurance experience whatsoever. So obviously the initial thing is you got to get in and make these sales and get the policies. So you're following up on every lead, whether it's 20, 25 times, even on the ones that weren't answering. You had no. We were spending so much time following up on things that really didn't need the follow up instead of really focusing on following up on the ones that should be.
I love that. I love that. So Sean, tell me a little bit of maybe about how the program has helped you with the time management piece. Like, what's been maybe your biggest takeaway from that?
I think the biggest thing is the people on the phone. Like Joe was just saying, we're sitting here just calling and calling and calling and wasting our time. And here we are, for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 2 years, just continuously calling those people every single month. Going through it like you've been talking about, spending a certain amount of time on it, because we all know that that generally happen within the first call or even the first couple of calls. We're talking, 8, 10, 12, 15 calls. And then saying, okay, you know what? Let's push this out for a while. They know our number. They're not going to answer the phone. But if we pinned it out, say 4, 5, 6 months from now, chances are they're probably going to forget that number, and we may have a better chance of being able to get them on the phone. If it was a lead, the calls have died down by that point, but nobody else is following up on it, and we are. So they're generally more likely to answer that phone.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So, what would you guys say your team has benefited the most from Weaver Sales Academy and in the program in general?
I'll go on. I mean, I know we touched on it. The pivots has been huge. Um, we're actually right now, as we speak, I'm looking across the window. We're taking advantage of your curriculum for the new hire. We had no discipline on that whatsoever. It was kind of grab someone and here's a phone. Let's start making money. But we weren't really taking a good methodical approach to it and really setting them up for success. So we actually have someone following that program right now. As literally as we speak, I'm looking at her doing that. So it's taught us the discipline on that, the discipline on having those regular meetings. That's been huge. The camaraderie is higher. We do things actually a little different in our office. Our office is on a shared commission. So I know it's unorthodox, not many agents like to do it that way, but we have a strong team with a strong camaraderie. Rising tide rises all ships. So by doing this and having those regular huddles with the brainstorm and, like Sean was saying, the blitzes, we're coming back, it's challenging each other. And that's what this program has done for us.
I love that. I love that. So, with the new team member onboarding process, what have you liked most about that process so far that you think has helped you be organized and more efficient with that process?
I feel like I've got someone, I've got you in my back pocket there, kind of, here's the videos and everything. So instead of me maybe introducing our bad habits or the habits we're trying to develop, I mean, we're really trying to, look at it. She's getting the opportunity to learn the right way to do, or a good way, in a way that we're moving to in the office right up front without, me picking up the phone and, maybe going and resorting to some old habits that I have. It's starting and it gives us that baseline.
And have you seen, has the program, with the onboarding, especially with the brand new team member, have you seen that the program has actually given you all the ability to have more time back in the agency to focus on income producing activities, and the program actually really helps speeds up that sales training process without you guys having to be as hands on as you have been in the past?
I would absolutely say yes. Because right now I can kind of, I don't want to say sit back. I mean, we still want to keep regular involvement with it, but I know while she's watching the videos and I'm getting the feedback, hey, I like this here. I know when she gets on the phone for the first time, I know she's going to be able to walk through the quote, do it the right way, follow a nice procedure, and really kind of help us with what we're trying to do in the office and have a value added procedure.
I love that. No, that's fantastic. And so, maybe what's and I know the success story, but I want you guys to maybe share that a little bit. I mean, what's been your success with the program so far? And you've been on the program what now, about 2 months, 2.5 months?
Roughly. Um, when it comes to that, I mean, the man right here can tell you everything.
Perfect.
I think the biggest thing is for me was the word tracks. Here we are. We know we're not always the cheapest, and we knew not to sell strictly on price. Um, but using that hook, line, and sinker of, hey, look, we're going to get you a better price, but then really looking into the policy and being able to go, okay, well, we're going to sell you on price, but wait, hold on a minute. Now we have this other issue, and saying, hey, look, no, we're going to sell on what is protecting you rather than, you know, just giving you something because it's the cheapest thing. The pivots for the life. We were honestly, super focused on the PNC because that's what pays most of the bills. We weren't super strong in the life. I came from the outside as well. I did landscaping beforehand, so I had no insurance experience either. Didn't know a whole lot about life. Definitely learned it, as going through it. But this year we've really started focusing on the life, and in the last, we'll call it a month, counting this week, we've probably put in the last month as many life submissions than we have in the last 2 years
Oh
combined.
wow, that's amazing. That's really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
we're not saying this is our best month. We're saying he literally in 1 month bound our entire last year plus some.
that is fantastic. So, do you think just with the teachings of the conversations and then obviously the activity that you've been doing, like what's been your biggest takeaway with the life insurance training piece of Weaver Sales Academy?
um So it wasn't that I didn't know the product beforehand. It's just how to pivot into it and do it correctly. How to have that discussion correctly. That the whole foundation thing that you talk about in the life insurance talk. We've made our own little sheets, and we have them for everybody. When we got somebody in here, we can write on our desk. They're glass top. We can write on them, but having that where they can actually take that with them as well if they wanted to, but really go through it. I like the fact that you've got stuff in there that we don't even sell. The health insurance that we don't even offer, but it gives them that understanding of, hey, look, we're not even going to try and offer you something because we don't have it. But it gives that customer the sense of, wow, they really do care they are looking out for my best interest because, well, they're not going to try and sell me this because they don't even offer it, but they're making sure that every piece of that foundation corner is in place in case something was to happen.
Fantastic. I love that. So, and I guess probably the last thing that I would ask is, why would you recommend peers invest in Weaver Sales Academy? What would you say to that?
So I would say for me, a confidence. We definitely found a confidence in kind of like to what Sean was saying. There was a confidence when we get on the phone that, hey, this is kind of what the pros are doing, or this is a proven method. We were doing a lot of the things and a lot of the aspects of what it is that was in your academy, but we didn't realize why. We never really. What you did was you kind of gave us, hey, why are we doing this? And oh, that's why it happened to work last time when I did it. We could easily take someone and transition them into higher coverages, but why? And really digging in. So your academy really sprungboard us into why we're doing it. And like Sean said, then it's easy to pivot. It's easy to, take the advice and you're not only that, but you're laying out here's where to do it. And when you do it, the process flowed. So we're getting the time back. We're getting the confidence. The camaraderie in the office is higher. Sales are higher again, especially when everyone's on a shared commission. We're all enjoying Sean's success. But we're all wanting to do more ourselves and do better. So really team building, camaraderie, the time back, value. Everything's been value added. It's great.
I love that. I love that. Joe, Sean, would you add anything to that?
I think the team building, the whole the meetings in the mornings, just a quick, 15 minutes. Hey, maybe a Monday. Hey, look, we come up with goals every single week. What are we looking to do this week? And being able to write those down and know everybody's goals. And midweek, in the morning when we get here, hey, look, have you finished your goal, or are you, partway through your goal? How much longer do you have? What else do you have to get towards that goal? But being able to be there for everybody, because it's like, okay, well, I know this is your goal now. And I heard you on the phone yesterday and I heard you, achieve that goal with one person. It sounded fabulous, but let's change it a little bit and maybe change one or two words and boom, it's going to get you even more. So being able to be there for each other has definitely been and better each other. We hear each other on the phone. Hey, you screwed that one up. You should have said something like this. And as soon as we do it, we can look through the windows and see everybody, and we all look up at each other and start laughing because we know we do it. We're like, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have said that. We should have said this. But being able to do that because we're all on the same page now is actually been pretty cool.
Absolutely. So I love that. And I know I said that was the last question, but I do have one more because you just brought up a really good point. Had has Weaver Sales Academy kind of taken some of the guesswork out of what you talk about in your team meetings and your team huddles and your training meetings? Has it given you the content to where you know exactly what you're training on every single day?
I think that's exactly what I was. You really took what I was trying to say. The confidence. That's exactly what it's produced. Is we're not sitting there, just kind of staring at each other. It's more. We have that. We have the agenda. We have the ideas. We have the thoughts, and that's exactly what you laid out for us. This is what the purpose. That's what it is. It comes down to the purpose. You've given us the ideas and purpose. So absolutely, 100%.
Okay, no, I love that. Well, Joe and Sean, thank you all again for your time today. Any last words from you before we end this?
No, I would just say we would absolutely, we will absolutely recommend you. We appreciate what you've done for our office, what it's going to continue to do. The return's already there, and it's a value in my opinion.
Well, I appreciate the heck out of you and appreciate your business and anything I can do. Obviously, never hesitate to reach out. But thank you guys so much again for your time today. I appreciate you both.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.